Hello, and welcome back to Anything About Whatever. I believe this is episode 4, if I'm not mistaken. It is Monday, February 14th, 2022. Yay, Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, so much fun. So instead of being out, with a loving partner that I don't have, I'm here in my room filming a podcast episode because yet again it's almost Wednesday and I haven't done anything. I made myself a little drink, so if you hear some ice clicking around, that's what that is. I made a Blue Lagoon type situation. I got that blue curacao syrup stuff, some Sprite. I added in some raspberry vodka because that's all I had, and some lemon juice and a maraschino cherry, and it's pretty good actually. Added a little bit too much lemon juice, but still tasty. So last week, one of my viewers suggested that I make a video about the complications and stuff of pregnancy. And because I am a child-free, antinatalist, anti-abortion advocate, bitch, child, I said that wrong. Let me start over. I'm a child-free, antinatalist, abortion advocate. I am for abortion 100%. And I can't stand these pro-life forced birthers. I'm going to talk about all the stuff that they are trying to force onto women by trying to ban abortion, aka they get off on wanting to force pregnancy and birth on women that don't want it because they want to throw a tantrum that they want to have an abortion that they aren't paying for, and they're not going to help the kid after it's born. So what are you crying about? But anyways, let's just get started. I don't want this video to be an hour long like the last one was. I know this is a podcast, but dang, I don't got to talk that long. Jeez. So all these things are from multiple different sites, and how much do you want to bet that this still is not everything that can happen to you? So hold on, I'm just writing something down real quick. Alright, so let's just get started. So we have the basic stuff. Sorry, that's my bed, ignore that. So we have morning sickness, which can be so bad that it can kill you. Itchy skin, gas and bloating, bleeding gums, yeast infections, because those feel so good, swollen ankles, how attractive, and frequent urination. Again, that's like the least problematic stuff, but still can go bad, I'm assuming. What else? We have constipation, extra saliva, hemorrhoids. Wow, I bet those feel amazing. Nosebleeds, swollen extremities like your face, hands, feet, etc. And a metallic taste in your mouth. Now that is like whatever. Still, no one should be forced to have to deal with any of that stuff. But it's like, you expect those things. But of course, there's a lot of stuff that they don't tell you to begin with. Especially with afterbirth, gotta wear, people make these like freezer, these basically like ice pack pads that you put stuff on it, like aloe and stuff. You put it in the freezer and then you put them in your underwear because your coochie is swollen. Ew. And wearing diapers afterwards. No, thank you. All right. Next website. This is from, that first one was, I think, from babycenter.com or something. All these will be listed in the description box. This next one is from nichd.nih.gov. So, more complications. High blood pressure, also called hypertension, blah, blah, blah. Of course, as we know with blood pressure, if it's too low, you can die. If it's too high, you can die. So that's number one. Another thing that can kill you during your pregnancy. We have gestational diabetes, which occurs when a woman who didn't have diabetes before pregnancy develops the condition during pregnancy, and I believe it can continue afterwards. Again, diabetes, pretty sure that can also kill you too if it's not controlled, and it increases the risk for a C-section. Next complication, infections, including STIs, other things that can cause infections are a miscarriage. Ectopic pregnancies, which, okay, we'll get into that later. Preterm labor and delivery, low birth weight, birth defects including blindness, deafness, bone deformities, and intellectual disabilities, stillbirth, illness in the newborn period, the first month of life, newborn death, and maternal health complications. All of those things can cause infections, and as we all know, if an infection goes untreated, or if it just gets really bad real quick, it can kill you. The next complication, preeclampsia, which is a serious medical condition that can lead to preterm delivery and death. Its cause is unknown. Wow, that's fun. But some women are at an increased risk, which include first pregnancy, preeclampsia in a previous pregnancy, existing conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney disease, and systemic lupus erythematosus or something, being 35 or older, carrying 2 or more fetuses, and obesity. But again, like I said, preeclampsia can kill you. Okay, what else? We have preterm labor. Is a labor that begins before 37 weeks of pregnancy. Certain conditions increase the risk for preterm labor, including infections, developing a shortened cervix, or a previous preterm birth. Which again, preterm labor can kill the fetus and probably the woman too. So there's that. Ooh, that lemon juice. Okay, another complication that can happen is depression and anxiety. Yeah, because that's real fun. Obviously, miscarriage, or how I would look at it, considering I wouldn't want to be pregnant, a free abortion. Then we have a stillbirth, which is the loss of a pregnancy after 20 weeks, and other complications, severe persistent nausea and vomiting, which, like I said, can kill you because it lasts for a long time and it doesn't go away. It can cause weight loss, reduced appetite, dehydration, and feeling faint, all of which can kill you. Iron deficiency, anemia. So that's so much fun. All right, next website. This one is by livescience.com. 18 ways that pregnancy may change your body forever. So first we have shoe size. Obviously, pregnancy can swell your feet, and sometimes they don't go back to exactly how they were before. I remember seeing some comments on TikTok, I think. Some lady says she now has to wear a different shoe size on each foot because her pregnancy changed her shoe size. So she has to buy more than one pair of shoes, I guess. I mean, who wants to do that? What else? Okay, extra pounds, whatever, vaginal changes, peeing problems, losing your teeth. This one is like, ew. Why in the world? Like, there's this woman, you probably saw the video of her, because it's been around for a while. She pretty much lost all of her teeth because of her pregnancy and had to get dentures. No thank you, yet again. I'm good on that. There's another thing I read about a long time ago. I didn't find it when I was looking stuff up, but something about your breast, getting really hard or something, which apparently can happen even without pregnancy, but I guess it's more likely to happen if you're pregnant, and it's painful. I'm just where is the appeal in this stuff? I don't get it. So yeah, you can lose your teeth. Of course, changes in your breast and their size and them sagging, stuff like that. Somehow you can lower breast cancer risk by having a pregnancy. Wait, did I read this right? Hold on. Oh, it's saying breastfeeding may lower the lifetime risk of developing breast cancer. For every 12 months a woman nurses a baby, her relative risk of breast cancer drops by 4%. What? I don't get that science because, again, pregnancy and birth in itself can literally end your life, but okie doke. Stretch marks, which could last forever. Hair changes, skin changes, diabetes. Again, who wants diabetes? Nobody. Can change your sex drive. Yeah, good luck with that, with kids all up in your face every day. You can get varicose veins and hemorrhoids. Varicose veins and hemorrhoids develop because the uterus's heavy weight and pressure can reduce blood flow from the lower part of the body. In addition, increased blood flow and a weakening of the blood vessels lining can contribute to these conditions. Okay. You can develop a slightly larger uterus. Normally, the uterus is about a pear size, but during pregnancy, the organ swells to the size of a watermelon. Ew. That just sounds so disturbing to even visualize that. Then we have abdominal separation, which they have a picture on here which looks disgusting. All women will have this separation at the late stages of pregnancy to make room for their growing belly. But by a year postpartum, somewhere between a third to more than 2/3 of women will retain some separation between their abdominal muscles, various studies suggest. Anyways, what does this even mean? You become a chimera. Don't know what that is. When a woman is pregnant, her body is filled with cells from her growing fetus, but those cells don't all leave with the fetus. At least some of those cells travel through the placenta into the rest of the woman's body, where some may remain for the rest of her life. Autopsies of women who had children decades before have found evidence of male DNA in the women's brains, presumably from gestating their sons. The purpose of these chimeric cells isn't clear. Of course it's not. Some doctors may think they can help a mom, while other researchers think the cells are potentially harmful. AKA, you have no idea what it is, what causes it, or if it's good or bad. Next. You can develop wider hips. Alright, that's it for that page. Oh my gosh. What's next? Alright, we have on Mayo Clinic. Alright, we have, that's the right page. Okay, so this is talking about postpartum complications. Blah, blah, blah. So yes, so postpartum complications, which is a growing problem apparently, because according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the number of reported pregnancy-related deaths, which, side note, a pregnancy-related death is the death of a woman while pregnant or within 1 year of the end of a pregnancy. More than half the pregnancy-related deaths happen after childbirth. But the number of reported pregnancy-related deaths in the United States in 2014 was 18 deaths per 100,000 live births. That's up from 7.2 deaths from 100,000 live births in 1987. Research also shows racial disparities. From 2011 to 2014, the pregnancy-related mortality ratios for Black women are more than 3 times higher than for white women. So, moral of the story is, pretty sure the U.S. has one of the highest, if not the highest, pregnancy mortality rate. And of course, it's higher for Black women. Newsflash, I'm a Black woman. That doesn't appeal to me. And you stupid, sick in the head, so-called pro-lifers who want to force this on us, screw you and go choke. Anyways, so common postpartum complications: cardiovascular diseases, which, does that mean heart disease? I don't know. A while ago, I saw some post this woman made about how her fetus gave her heart disease. Of course, you know, it was born and whatever, fine. But like, she was like, oh, you gave me heart disease, but you're my little angel and I wouldn't change it for the world. And I'm just sitting there thinking, you know, heart disease can kill you, right? And you wouldn't be able to say those things if it did kill you, because you'd be dead. Like, good luck enjoying your precious little blessing being dead. Like, what? Y'all are weird. Alright, infection or sepsis, which can both kill you. Sepsis, I'm pretty sure, is an infection that gets into your blood. Excessive bleeding after giving birth, which is called a hemorrhage, again, can kill you. A disease of the heart muscle that makes it harder for your heart to pump blood to the rest of your body. Oh, let me guess, that can kill you too, huh? A blockage in one of the pulmonary arteries in the lungs, often caused by blood clots that can travel to the lungs from the legs. Again, blood clots can kill you. A stroke, which can kill you. High blood pressure can kill you. A rare but serious condition that occurs when amniotic fluid or fetal material, such as fetal cells, enters the mother's bloodstream. Yeah, that sounds like it can kill you in itself. And anesthesia complications, which of course not everyone can deal with anesthesia because it can kill you. I mean, are we seeing a pattern here? Like, come on now. Risk factor. Oh, what is this? Blah blah blah. Okay, so warning signs and symptoms. Many postpartum complications can be successfully treated if they are identified early. Seek emergency help if you have chest pain, obstruction of breathing or shortness of breath, seizures, thoughts of hurting yourself or your baby. Again, all things that can kill you. Blah blah blah. Temperature of 100.4 or higher. Headache that doesn't get better even after taking medication. Bleeding and soaking through more than one pad an hour, or blood clots the size of an egg or bigger. Yikes. Red or swollen leg that's painful or warm to the touch. Yikes, yikes, yikes. No, thank you. And the last website I'm going to look at is healthline.com, which is just titled Pregnancy Complications. So again, miscarriage, obviously, which if that happened to me, wouldn't be devastated by it, because again, that to me is a free abortion. Then we have ectopic pregnancy, which is when a fertilized egg is implanted outside of the uterus. It usually settles in one of the fallopian tubes, and it can cause pain and damage to a woman's reproductive system, and is potentially life-threatening. As the fetus continues to grow, it can cause the fallopian tube to burst, leading to severe internal bleeding, which can kill you. You cannot save the fetus will not survive in an ectopic pregnancy. It can't be saved. You also are going to have surgery and or medication, and the woman will have to be monitored. So yeah, you can't save an ectopic pregnancy, but I'm sure some idiot pro-lifer is going to argue with that because they're stupid. You can't just take it and like put it where it's supposed to be, or like put it inside a new woman. It can't be saved, which, hello, get over it. It's a stupid, useless, underdeveloped fetus that was in a place it wasn't supposed to be. Boo fucking who. Go cry about it. Anyways, again, gestational diabetes, incompetent cervix. A growing fetus puts continual pressure on a pregnant woman's cervix. In rare cases, the pressure becomes too much for the cervix to handle. Excuse me. This will cause the cervix to open before the fetus is ready to be born, which is called cervical insufficiency or an incompetent cervix. Ew. Then we have placental abruption, when the placenta completely or partially separates from the uterus before a fetus is born. This separation means a fetus cannot receive proper nutrients and oxygen. Common symptoms include vaginal bleeding, contractions, and abdominal pain. And of course, they don't know what causes it. Imagine that. We have low-lying placenta. Is a rare pregnancy complication that occurs if the placenta attaches to the bottom part of a woman's uterine wall, partially or completely covering the cervix. Blah, blah, blah. This can become a more serious condition in the second or third trimesters. It can result in heavy vaginal bleeding. If left untreated, placenta previa can lead to bleeding heavily enough to cause maternal shock or even death. Wow, shocker. Yet another thing that can fucking kill you. Low or excess amniotic fluid. Amniotic fluid cushions the womb to keep a fetus safe from trauma. It helps maintain the temperature inside the womb. Having too little or too much interferes with some of the normal functions of the womb. It can prevent a fetus from properly developing muscles, limbs, lungs, and affect the digestive system. Most cases of excess amniotic fluid are mild and don't cause problems, but in rare cases, too much amniotic fluid can cause premature rupture of amniotic membranes, placental abruption, preterm labor and delivery, and postpartum hemorrhage. Wow, what a blessing to go through all this, huh? Preeclampsia is a condition marked by high blood pressure and high protein levels in a woman's urine. Though it commonly develops in later pregnancy, after 20 weeks gestation, it can develop earlier in the pregnancy or even postpartum. Of course, we don't know what causes it. And it can range from mild to severe. In serious cases, symptoms may include severe headaches, blurred or temporary loss of vision, upper abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, decreased urine output, sudden weight gain, and swelling in the face and hands. Blah, blah, blah. Premature labor, obviously. Venous, bro, why is everything so hard to pronounce in medical stuff? I don't get it. Venous thrombosis, which is a blood clot that normally develops in a vein in the leg. You're more likely to get this if you have a family history of it, are over 30, have had 3 or more previous deliveries, have been confined to a bed, are overweight, have had a C-section in the past, or you smoke. Molar pregnancy is an abnormality of the placenta. Blah, blah, blah. It requires immediate dilation and curettage and careful follow-up, as the molar tissue can start growing again and develop into cancer. And ladies and gentlemen, what can cancer do to you? Everyone, kill you. Oh my gosh, don't we love this? Fetal alcohol syndrome. When there are mental and physical defects that develop in a fetus when a mother drinks alcohol during pregnancy. Let me take a sip. Then we have something called HELLP syndrome, HELLP, which stands for hemolysis, elevated liver enzymes, and low platelet count. Is a condition characterized by liver and blood abnormalities. It can occur on its own or in association with preeclampsia. Symptoms include nausea, gastrointestinal pain, headaches, and severe itching. Then we have something called eclampsia, which occurs when preeclampsia progresses and attacks the central nervous system, causing seizures. What can seizures do? Kill you. It's a very serious condition. If left untreated, it can be fatal for both the mother and the fetus. However, With proper prenatal care, it's very rare for the more manageable preeclampsia to progress into eclampsia. And that was it for that page. Those are all the pages that I saved. I was on TikTok a couple weeks ago and saw this video of a woman who had just given birth, and she was shaking. There's something called afterbirth shakes. And like, she was just laying in bed and her arms were shaking and she was like holding on to the metal thingy. And I'm just like, I've never heard of that in my life. And reading the comments, a lot of other women didn't either. Another woman said the same thing happened to her and it scared her because she thought she was having a seizure. All these things, and like I said, I'm sure there's way more stuff that I didn't say in this video or that I've never heard of. They don't tell you these things. They don't like to tell you these things on purpose because they know it's going to scare you. Which, if a woman is going to be doing this with her life and her body, she has every right to know all of the things that could happen to her. Okay? And she has every right to be scared, because who wouldn't be? But of course, I've seen women literally basically make fun of women for being scared of wanting to be pregnant or whatever. Like, what is wrong with you? There's something going to be feeding off of you like a parasite, which is exactly what it is, for almost an entire year. It can give you permanent damage to your body, can give you health problems galore, as you've seen in this video for the past 30 minutes. All these things that can literally take your life. She has every right to be scared, you moron. Like, what in the world? And then you have these people who, or a couple years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, this woman, I don't know if she was a YouTuber, because I had never heard of her before, or she was just somebody like that people knew. I don't know. I just know she was a black woman. I don't remember her name. I should have looked it up. Let me try and find it. Anyways, she was 8 or 9 months pregnant and she died. Oh yeah, here we go. I found it. Her name was Nicole Thea. So let me see if I can find this. Okay. So I'm looking at the New York Post. Pregnant YouTube star Nicole Thea's cause of death revealed. This was posted in July 15th of 2020. She died Saturday and her family has revealed the cause of death, blah, blah, blah. She was 24 years old, 8 months pregnant, and her family believes she and her unborn son died due to a massive heart attack. A heart attack at 24 years old? Are you kidding me? Now, of course, I'm going to assume that it was caused by her pregnancy, because how many 24-year-olds are having heart attacks? And you know what else pisses me off about this? Is looking at her post when she announced that she was pregnant. And her caption reads, "We can't hide this any longer. Secrets out." In capital letters, the word God gave us the biggest blessing yet. I'm finally creating a beautiful little human inside of me. Honestly, Global Boga, which I guess, is that her husband? I don't know, has been the best support ever, and God made no mistakes making him the father. We are already obsessed with you, our little miracle baby. Thank you for choosing us to be your parents and best friends. How did that work out for you, sweetheart? You see, these people, these religious people, will sit there and be so excited that they're pregnant, and they'll thank God for it because it's such a blessing, and children are a gift from God, and pregnancy is a gift from God. Then why did he let it kill you then? Oh, let me guess. It was all a part of his plan, right? He just had to get your hopes up for nothing, just to kill you in the end, huh? And now you're not even here anymore. And neither is your kid, what was supposed to be your kid. You're both gone. So what was the point? Why'd God let that happen? He needed two more angels up there with him, huh? Is that what it was? God, stuff like that pisses me off so much, dude. Like, ugh. I just don't get it. So yeah, obviously I'm gonna assume that this massive heart attack was caused by her pregnancy, because what else would have caused it? Anyways, Sienna says she was a dancer, and we don't think she had any underlying health problems. But we won't know for sure until we have the post-mortem. Is that in here or what? I don't know. It's just so messed up. Like, yeah, good job, God. Congratulations. Like, what? Anyways, all this crap is just like, it's crap. And these people, these stupid forced birthing pro-lifers, you know, they will literally sit in your face and be like, you don't have to have an abortion. Just give it up for adoption. First of all, adoption is not an alternative to pregnancy or any of these complications which can occur. Okay, and newsflash, my body and my life is more important than some stupid, useless, underdeveloped fetus with no heart, brain, face, or limbs. So you can miss me with that shit. Second, who's going to adopt them? Because you pro-lifers sure aren't doing it. You wanted to save the baby so bad, but don't want to be the ones to save them because you're too busy at home, laying on your back, having your own stupid kids, because your genes are just so important. Pro-lifers never adopt. All they do is harass women and tell them to put it up for adoption. Make it make sense. I actually had my friend tell me that one time. I guess we were talking about this subject, and she was like, why wouldn't you just give it up for adoption? Because I don't want to be pregnant. That's why. And of course hit me with the, well, then don't have sex. Newsflash, none of us pro-abortion or child-free people owe any of you abstinence just because you want to cry about abortion. Don't like abortion, don't have one. I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like, y'all expect married couples who don't want to have kids to never have sex? You sound stupid. Shut up. Anyways, so yeah, this is all the things that these pro-lifers want to force women to go through because they want to ban abortion and tell us what we can and can't do with our bodies. And yes, it is my body. It's not the baby's body. They literally act like the fetus talks to them or something, as if the fetus told them that they wanted to be born into this world. Get over yourself. You made that decision for it. How is that okay to force them into this world that's only getting worse? where they will face pain, suffering, working the rest of their life, and inevitable death, you're totally fine forcing that on them, but I can't have an abortion if I want to, because then suddenly it's not my body, it's the baby's, and the baby should have a choice. It's a fetus. It doesn't have a choice. That's why the woman chose for it. And if you can choose to force it into all of this crap, I can choose to have an abortion because it doesn't have any rights. It doesn't deserve any rights. It's an underdeveloped fetus and aka a parasite, and I'm not obligated to have it feed off of me for almost a year. Go cry about it if you don't like it. I don't care. I'd rather have an aborted fetus than force someone to have a funeral one day. So shut up and mind your business, sweetheart. Because if you think you're going to force me to go through any of this stuff, you're in for a big surprise, let me tell you that. They want to force women to go through stuff, but if we were to try to force them to have an abortion because they were having kids that they couldn't afford, or they were getting knocked up by every person they sleep with or whatever, they would lose their minds. They wouldn't like that at all. They wouldn't like it, but they can force this on us and it's totally fine. And they think they're saints for it because they think they're doing God's work. Get over yourself, you freaking hypocrites. You're all hypocrite bastards, and screw you. Anyways, follow your own advice and stop having kids you can't afford. Stop having kids with people you shouldn't have kids with. Okay? Stop having 20 different baby daddies or baby mamas. Nick Cannon. Why don't you follow your own advice? Mind your business. And considering it is February 14th, I know this isn't going up until Wednesday, but regardless, if it get knocked up tonight, if it get knocked up the day that you're listening to this, if you get knocked up ever, do the right thing. Have an abortion. Don't gamble with someone's life. Don't force them into this shithole to make them suffer and die just so you can fill a void that you have. Have an abortion. It won't know anything about it. It won't matter. It won't care. It will be non-existent. You want to help someone? Help someone who's already alive that needs a family. You're welcome. Anyways, if you have anything else to add to this list of horrible things that can happen to you, you can leave them in the comment section down below. I will see you guys hopefully next week. And thank you so much for listening and subscribing. This has been Anything About Whatever. And I'll see you guys next time.